Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to dive into, well, a real head-scratcher of a story. The resurgence of a Scottish clan that everyone thought was lost to history. Clan MacDomhnaill.
Wow.
You've given us a ton of material here. Historical records, personal stories, even a song.
It is quite the collection.
It's almost like piecing together a puzzle. Let's see if we can figure out how a clan seemingly vanished from the Highlands
Right.
and ended up being revived in, wait for it, Georgia, USA.
Yeah, it's really a story that kind of weaves itself into monumental moments in Scottish history and even world history, really showcasing resilience, adaptability. It's amazing. We've got a really interesting mix of sources, too. We've got historical accounts and member lists and interviews, even a song all about a Scottish clan that was thought to be lost, for centuries, and then it reappears in the most unexpected of places.
It's really pretty remarkable how this clan was believed to be extinct.
Right.
After the Jacobite War of 1746, it was, a really pivotal moment in Scottish history where clans fought for the restoration of the Stuart monarchy. But this clan, the MacDomhnaill clan, reemerged not in Scotland.
Not in Scotland.
But in the United States.
Yeah, in the United States. For centuries, Clan MacDomhnaill was, considered a part of Scotland's past.
Yep.
It seemed like their story ended with their exile after the Jacobites were defeated.
Right.
But then things took an unexpected turn with the emergence of Stephen Mitchell.
Talk about a testament to how personal journeys can really intersect with history in really unexpected ways.
It's crazy.
Mitchell's discovery wasn't just like a personal revelation. It was the catalyst for the revival of a clan that everyone had thought was lost forever.
Done. How do you even begin to revive a clan after centuries? Like, is there a handbook for that?
Well, that's where it gets even more interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's really intriguing.
Yeah. Mitchell's son, Billy Black, is the clan's elderman, which involves like guiding and advising the clan. He, alongside Brandon Shaw, who's a liaison in Leeds, Yorkshire, they spearheaded the efforts to get recognition for the clan, which I'm sure you can imagine.
Was met with some, skepticism.
Yeah, I bet they had a hard time convincing people. You're reviving what clan? And it's based where?
Yeah, it must have been quite the journey to gain legitimacy and convince people that this wasn't some kind of historical hoax.
Right. I mean, they had to prove Mitchell's lineage, trace it back through centuries, and convince the Scottish government that Clan MacDomhnaill was more than just a name in a history book. But they did.
Amazing.
December 22, 2022.
Wow.
They received official recognition from the Scottish Prime Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. This marked the official return of the clan from exile.
Powerful.
Fiery.
What a turning point.
Yes.
This isn't just like acknowledging, Mitchell's lineage, but it's symbolic of the rebirth of a clan that was thought to have vanished.
Yeah.
But here's another twist. Clan MacDomhnaill isn't like going back to their ancient lands in Scotland. They're establishing themselves in central Georgia.
Yeah, this is where it gets really fascinating. You know, you have a Scottish clan rooted in their ancestral homeland of Scotland, but now they're in the American South, a completely different culture.
It's like a blend of old and new tradition and adaptation.
Yeah.
This historically Scottish clan, reborn in a completely different cultural context. It makes you wonder how they navigate these identities that seem so different.
It definitely challenges how we think about clans in the 21st century.
Yeah, right.
It's not just about like bloodlines and location anymore. It's about carrying forward a legacy, adapting it to new circumstances, making it relevant in this crazy changing world.
Absolutely. So how does a modern clan actually work, right? It's not every day you hear about a Scottish clan holding gatherings in Georgia. Are there kilts? Is there bagpipe music in the Peach State?
They do.
They do.
They incorporate those traditional Scottish elements into their gatherings.
Oh.
They even have a structured setup, like a Lord Chief, which is now held by Stephen Mitchell. They have a clan mother, guardsmen, and shield maidens. It's like it mirrors the historical structure of Scottish clans.
Yeah.
And yes, they have a bard who brings that music and storytelling that you expect.
A bard. Wow. So meticulous. It's like they're really intentionally blending the historical tradition with their present day reality.
Yeah.
But it's also a clan of 23 people, you know?
Yeah. It's a small number.
Yeah. Which shows how, I think, really how intimate this revived community is. It's not about, huge gatherings and widespread influence. It's about this really dedicated, group of people committed to preserving and carrying forward this legacy that was almost lost.
That's right.
It's really about the personal commitment involved. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm Scottish. It's about actively participating in a community, upholding values, contributing to its future.
Absolutely.
And speaking of values, Clan MacDomhnaill has always embraced diversity, welcoming members from all kinds of different backgrounds and faiths.
That's right, and that's a tradition that they are continuing today.
I love that. I am curious, though, how do they maintain that connection to Scotland when they're all the way over here in the United States? It's not like they can just, hop on a plane for a weekend sealid.
Well, they've adapted to the distance.
Yeah.
They're using technology and they're incorporating those elements of Scottish culture into their lives here. They're using social media to connect with other clans, other individuals interested in Scottish heritage, so they're not isolated.
Right.
They even have like a dedicated historian who educates members about the clan's history so that knowledge of the past is passed down.
Smart. So it's like they're building a bridge across the Atlantic.
Exactly.
A place where their American present can coexist with their Scottish past.
And that bridge is constantly being reinforced by their efforts to teach the younger generations about their heritage.
Oh, that's nice.
Making sure that that story continues to evolve and thrive.
Love that. I love that. Well, as we were exploring these sources, I noticed something. There's an almost cinematic quality to Clan MacDomhnaill's story. It's almost like a hidden chapter of Scottish history coming back to life centuries later and in the most unexpected setting. And speaking of cinematic, our sources included a bit of their official clan song.
Really? Wow, that's something I've never come across.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's incredible. It talks about their exile in 1746, their journey to America, and then, their resurgence now.
Yeah.
In the 21st century. And there's this one line that really stood out to me. It says, "In the heart of America, they found their place, yet Scotland's spirit still their grace."
Oh, that's lovely. That's really lovely.
It's beautiful, and it really captures, I think, the essence of their story,
Yeah.
Holding on to that heritage while creating a new path in a different land.
It's great.
Yeah. The song even mentions some key figures from their past, like William Douglas, David Kincaid, connecting the current members to those ancestral roots. I get chills just thinking about it. And Billy Black mentioned that one of the biggest challenges they faced was convincing people that their story was legitimate.
I can only imagine.
Can you imagine trying to explain? I mean, you're reviving this centuries-old clan that everyone thinks is gone.
Yeah.
I bet they encountered a lot of skepticism, especially with, the clan being based in Georgia.
Right. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. And there's even a quote from Billy Black in the sources. He says, "I had evidence to prove my claims, but people still had a hard time believing me." That must have been incredibly frustrating.
It must have been.
To have all the proof, but to still face that disbelief. It must have felt like battling centuries of assumptions.
Yeah, for sure.
Just pushing against those established historical narratives.
Right. It's a testament to their dedication.
Yeah.
The power of their belief.
Their perseverance.
Yeah, that desire to reclaim their heritage.
Yeah.
And rewrite the narrative of their clan's history.
Yeah. It makes you wonder about, what were the defining moments in Clan MacDomhnaill's history? What shaped their identity, What were those events that really influenced their values and their actions?
I think Billy Black specifically mentions the Jacobite War and its aftermath as that crucial turning point for the clan. He actually states, events like the Jacobite War and the aftermath really stretches lessons how we conduct ourselves in terms of who we support and causes we support.
So even though the Jacobite War led to their exile, it continues to inform their values today. It's like their history isn't just in the past.
Yeah, it's woven into who they are today.
And Stephen Mitchell actually mentioned James Douglas. He really admires his leadership style, how Douglas focused on keeping the clan close-knit.
Interesting.
Selective about who could join.
It highlights that, honoring traditions and adapting to these modern circumstances, right?
Yeah.
It's clear that Stephen Mitchell is mindful of their history, but also he has to make decisions that reflect their reality now.
As a small clan.
Exactly.
Adaptability, it seems like, is a big theme.
Yeah, for sure.
For Clan MacDomhnaill.
Deeply rooted in tradition.
Yeah.
But they're also open to change and evolving.
And that's evident in their inclusivity, right? They've always welcomed people from all backgrounds, faiths, and they continue to do so today. It's almost they're a microcosm of modern society.
Yeah.
Embracing this inclusivity while honoring this shared heritage. So how does this inclusivity, how does it play out in how they structure their gatherings?
Well, it's interesting. They've found a way to blend Scottish traditions with American customs,
Okay.
like creating this unique cultural fusion.
What?
What kind of activities happen at these gatherings?
Well, from what I've gathered, they have these traditional Scottish games and storytelling, even astrology lessons.
Astrology.
Astrology. Wow, that's not what I expected.
I know, but I like it. It shows that they're not afraid to bring in those diverse interests and practices into their clan life.
Right.
Open-mindedness,
Right.
willingness to evolve.
Right.
And of course, the music, right? We talked about their clan song, but they also have a bard,
Yeah.
Bob Ware, who brings this traditional musical element to those gatherings. It's like they're weaving a living tapestry of their heritage, blending stories, music, traditions from both Scotland and America.
Creating a really vibrant and dynamic expression of what it means to be a clan in the 21st century.
Yeah.
But it's not all festivities and celebration.
Right.
They take their clan structure and roles very seriously.
Yeah.
Stephen Mitchell actually emphasizes that he has the final say on who joins. There are clear rules.
Okay.
So it's not just about, oh yeah, I'm Scottish, and then you're in the clan.
Right. You have to actually participate.
Yeah. It's about actively participating in a community, shared values, expectations.
That's right.
And speaking of responsibility, what about Stephen Mitchell's vision for the future? He has mentioned, wanting to establish sub-clan groups and potentially acquire land in Scotland.
Wow.
He's even talked about helping members get Scottish citizenship.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, it reflects that dedication to the clan's growth.
Right.
This enduring connection to Scotland.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like building a bridge, across the Atlantic, connecting their American present to that Scottish past.
Yeah, it's built on more than just like aspirations too. They're actively educating those younger generations about their heritage, making sure the story and traditions continue to be passed down.
Right, with history lessons and traditional games and storytelling.
Right.
They even have a dedicated historian, Ashley Kelly. She plays a crucial role in preserving and sharing the clan's story. It's a powerful reminder that heritage it's not static.
Right.
It's something that's passed down and reinterpreted with each generation. New life, new meaning. And speaking of reinterpreting heritage, one thing that really stood out to me was how Clan MacDomhnaill navigates their, spiritual beliefs.
Oh, you're referring to how they have members who are Christian, pagan, and other belief systems?
Exactly. It's remarkable. They've created this space where these diverse spiritual paths can exist together harmoniously.
That's great.
Within that shared clan identity.
Yeah. One of our sources actually states that religion does not define us. What truly unites us is our shared identity as members of Clan MacDomhnaill.
That's powerful. That really suggests that their clan identity goes beyond any specific religious doctrine.
Right.
It's about those shared values, a sense of belonging that goes beyond individual beliefs.
That's right. And that sense of belonging is clearly really important to them.
Yeah.
They emphasize that their clan is family, bound together by that loyalty, heritage, mutual respect.
I mean, it's really heartwarming, in a world that can feel so divided. They've created this community that celebrates both their shared past and their diverse present. They find strength in their differences.
And they do it with this remarkable blend of tradition and innovation and a good dose of humor.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see how they're breathing new life into a heritage that was once thought to be lost forever.
Absolutely.
Their story makes you think about identity and belonging and the evolving nature of tradition in our globalized world. We're going to delve into these questions even further in our next segment.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
It really is fascinating how this clan has taken root in Georgia.
Yeah. So how do they blend those Scottish traditions with life in the American South?
Well, it seems like they've got this really amazing mix of activities and traditions that they've woven together. From what I've seen in the sources, they've got traditional Scottish games, storytelling, even astrology lessons.
Astrology, I did not expect that.
Right.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that they're not afraid to incorporate those diverse interests and practices into their clan life.
Open-minded.
Exactly.
I like it.
And of course, there's the music. We've talked about their clan song.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have a bard, Bob Ware, who who really brings that traditional musical element to their gathering.
Oh, that's right. So they've got music, they've got games, they've got astrology, they've got this rich history.
It's really quite remarkable how they're blending it all together.
Yeah, it's a tapestry, isn't it?
It is. It really is a living tapestry.
And it's evolving, you know?
Right. And that's what makes it so fascinating, I think.
Okay. So we've talked about their traditions and how they've adapted, but we also know that they take their clan structure and those roles very seriously. Didn't Stephen Mitchell say that he has the final say in who gets to join?
He did.
And there are rules that members have to follow. So it's not just about, claiming a Scottish heritage. It's about being a part of this community with shared values and expectations.
Exactly. And those values, they're really rooted in respect, loyalty, and a commitment to preserving their traditions.
It's not just, a casual, oh yeah, my great-great-grandfather was Scottish, so I guess I'm in the clan kind of thing.
Right.
And that makes sense given, what they went through to revive the clan in the first place. Remember all that skepticism they faced? It must have taken a lot of dedication to overcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that really stands out to me about their story, It's that resilience. They faced all these challenges and they didn't give up.
Yeah. And then, on top of all of that, Stephen Mitchell has this incredible vision for the future of the clan. He's talked about establishing sub-clan groups, potentially acquiring land in Scotland, even helping members gain Scottish citizenship. It's really ambitious, isn't it?
It is. But it speaks to that deep connection that they still have to Scotland.
Yeah.
It's not just about, reviving the clan in name only. It's about building a bridge between their present and their past.
And that bridge is really being built, in a very concrete way. They're actively educating younger generations about their heritage, making sure that the story continues to be passed down.
Right.
With those history lessons, the traditional games, the storytelling. And we can't forget about Ashley Kelly, their dedicated historian. She's playing such a vital role in preserving and sharing the clan's story. It's a powerful reminder, I think, that heritage isn't static. It's a living thing.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, one of the things that really struck me about Clan MacDomhnaill was how they navigate their spiritual beliefs.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing to see how they've got members who practice Christianity, various forms of paganism, other beliefs, and they all coexist within that shared clan identity.
It really is. It speaks to their commitment to inclusivity.
Absolutely.
And to that respect for individual beliefs.
One of our sources actually addressed this directly, stating that religion does not define us. What truly unites us is our shared identity as members of the Clan MacDomhnaill.
And I think that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Their clan identity goes beyond any specific religious doctrine.
Right.
It's about those shared values, a sense of belonging.
It's about family.
It's about family.
Yeah. It's really, really heartwarming to see, in a world that often feels so divided, they've created this community where they celebrate both their shared past and their diverse present.
And they do it all with a sense of humor, too. I mean, you can really tell that they're having fun with it.
Right. I think that's what makes their story so inspiring. It's not just about preserving the past. It's about creating something new, something vibrant, and something that speaks to who they are today.
Exactly. It's a beautiful blend of tradition and innovation.
Their story, it really makes you think about identity and belonging and how tradition can evolve in our globalized world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to hear your perspective on that. What stands out to you the most?
Well, it's tough to choose just one thing. There's so much about their story that's inspiring, but I think for me, it's how they're really living that blend of tradition and modernity. They're not, stuck in the past. They're actively shaping their clan's identity in the present.
Yeah, they're writing a new chapter, right? Yeah, exactly. And we get to watch it unfold. It's really amazing.
It's a dynamic, it's an evolving community, not just a relic of the past,
It's inspiring to see how they embrace inclusivity and adapt to the changes around them. Makes you wonder, with globalization and this renewed interest in heritage, could we see more lost clans or communities, kind of rediscovering their roots?
That is a thought-provoking question. And with technology connecting people, across borders, sparking that curiosity about ancestry, it wouldn't be surprising.
Right.
Just imagine, hidden connections and forgotten lineages coming to light, leading to these unexpected reunions and cultural revivals.
It's definitely a possibility. Clan MacDomhnaill shows us that the past isn't really gone. It lives on in in those stories, traditions, and even our DNA.
It's true.
And sometimes, in the most unexpected ways, it can resurface, reminding us of who we are and where we come from.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive into the resurgence of Clan MacDomhnaill, I'm left with a sense of wonder, a renewed appreciation for the power of heritage. It's their story really reminds us that even a clan thought lost, can find its way back home.
And maybe this deep dive will inspire some of our listeners to explore their own past, unearth those threads that connect them to something greater than themselves.
It's a good point.
After all, as Clan MacDomhnaill has shown us, heritage is a journey of rediscovery. And the human spirit has this incredible capacity for renewal.
It's really a remarkable story, and thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. It's been a real pleasure exploring this with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the fascinating world of history and heritage. Until then, keep exploring.